An absolutely huge Western Conference matchup on a Wednesday in USL Soccer as the Swope Park Rangers and San Antonio FC are separated by just 3 points in the standings, with games running out to secure their place in the playoffs. It's a big one from Kansas City. Swope Park Rangers versus San Antonio FC next. Good evening and welcome to Kansas City, Kansas. Children's Mercy Park, one of the cathedrals in American soccer, is the site for tonight's crucial Western Conference encounter between the Swope Park Rangers and San Antonio FC. I'm Carter Augustine. I'll be joined by Sam Cobson, and it's a hot one here in Kansas City, which, Sam, I think befits this heating up Western Conference playoff race, and two teams very much in the thick of it.
Certainly does. Postseason implications abound, and I'm delighted to be calling this one with you, Carter. Swope Park Rangers sitting in 6th place at 46 points. San Antonio just below the playoff line in 9th with 43, but that all-important game in hand. It's quite possible that only one of these teams makes the playoffs, sets up for a big-time battle tonight.
So much on the line here this evening, and speaking of players on fire and hot things, we got two of the hottest players in the league on display in this game, starting with Lance Lang for the visitor San Antonio FC.
That's right. Lance Lang has been absolutely lights out since joining San Antonio on loan from Cincinnati. That was on August 23rd. How about 3 goals and 3 assists in 4 starts, with San Antonio winning 3 of those games? So Lang has added another dimension to this team's attack, and it's come at just the perfect time of the season for San Antonio.
It's been a wonderful addition for San Antonio FC. Meanwhile, for the home side, they've been led by this man, Haji Berry, who has been on absolute fire over the past month.
Well, everything he has touched has turned to gold of late. He has goals in 6 straight appearances. That ties the all-time USL record, and his 14 goals on the season have tied the Rangers' regular season record. So that begs the question, can Haji Berry make history tonight, break both of those records outright? We're about to find out.
So much exciting to look forward to here this evening, as these two teams are battling for playoff position with two of the hottest attackers in the league. Should be a good one here in Kansas City is the Swope Park Rangers and San Antonio FC. Kickoff coming up next. Welcome back to Children's Mercy Park. The sun has set, and we are ready for this evening's matchup between the Swope Park Rangers and San Antonio FC. And let's get into the starting lineups for each team, starting with the away side. San Antonio FC head coach Darren Powell making one change to the team that lost 2-1 at Tulsa last Saturday, as Cesar Elizondo just back from injury. They don't want to play him on such short rest. Connor Presley coming in for Darren Powell in a crucial game against the Swope Park Rangers.
Certainly so, and this is a lineup that includes two former Sporting KC players in midfielder Mikey Lopez and defender Cyprian Hedrick. Let's also keep an eye on Hedrick's center back partner Moises Hernandez. He is on loan from FC Dallas, making his third appearance for San Antonio tonight.
Meanwhile, for the home side and head coach Paulo Nagamura, 4 changes from the 4-3 loss to St. Louis that snapped their hot winning streak this past Saturday. Out go Rebellon, Mar, Hernandez, and Shelton. In come Biliou, Lindsay, Busio, and Blackwood.
Well, we already mentioned Barry in the outset, Carter. That's not to mention the 7 Sporting KC players on loan. Certainly a very strong squad for head coach Paulo Nagamura as we get ready for this playoff 6-pointer in the Western Conference.
Killer Bees leading the line for Swope Park Rangers again. There's Darren Powell in his 3rd season. San Antonio FC getting ready for an absolutely crucial matchup here on the road. Referee blows his whistle. We are underway here in Kansas City, Kansas. Just 3 points separating these two teams in the Western Conference standings. 4 games remaining, including this one for the Swope Park Rangers. San Antonio FC with a game in hand, and they know with the win here this evening, they'll go past Swope Park Rangers in the standings with that game in hand as well. They start with the ball, going from right to left in their all-white uniforms. Swope Park Rangers from left to right in their traditional blue on blue. There's Lance Lang immediately trying to get involved. And as you said in pregame, Sam Cobson, he has been a wonderful addition to this San Antonio FC in mid-season.
Well, he came in late August, Carter, and in his first 3 starts, San Antonio won each game, and in each of those games, he tallied a goal and an assist. So he's been a bit of a revelation since coming over from league leaders FC Cincinnati. He's done everything you could have asked a player to do coming over on loan at this juncture of the season. He's given San Antonio a bit of life going forward. It's so important that he does that, especially in a fixture like tonight where 1 point simply may not be enough for San Antonio. And that's why I expect a fixture like this to unfold so invitingly well for us. Should be a good one for neutrals and a nervous one for fans of both teams. So you'd expect the visiting team, San Antonio, to certainly try to take all 3 tonight. And when that happens, usually you're treated to an open and entertaining affair.
Well, Sam, we know about the Swope Park Rangers press and how they like to keep the ball, and they lead USL in passes and passing accuracy. San Antonio coming into this game 4th in the league in fouls, 2nd in yellow cards. Could see a very high intensity game with so much on the line.
Yeah, it sets up for a fascinating clash of styles in that respect. I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to who shows quality in that attacking third. We've seen the killer bees, so to speak, for Swope Park Rangers flex their muscles all season long, and Carlton Belmar, Tyler Blackwood, and Haji Berry, about 28 goals among them this season. A remarkable total for head coach Paulo Nagamura, and there's a reason he started the 3 of them together tonight.
There's Rosenbeck Akhmatov drawing a foul in midfield. Talk about Paulo Nagamura and those killer bees. They've been really good together, as you mentioned, for head coach Paulo Nagamura this season when they've played together. And 28 of the team's 43 goals. Here's one of those guys, Carlton Belmar, just strayed into an offside position. You see the wrap around his left thigh there as he's been dealing with some muscle issues in the later stages of the season. San Antonio will restart. Here comes Pekka, who's holding midfield position. Both of these teams coming off pretty heartbreaking losses as well. The Swope Park Rangers were on a winning streak amongst this 5-game home stretch. It fell to rival St. Louis FC 4-3 this past Saturday, despite a spirited comeback as well. Meanwhile, San Antonio FC, their first ever loss to the Tulsa Roughnecks, and couldn't have come at a worse time for Darren Powell and company. That ball drifted over the line. Eric Dick just not quite aware of where he was on the pitch. Gives a thumbs up to the AR who got that call spot on, and it's a corner for San Antonio.
And it's a bit lackadaisical there from the Swope Park Rangers. We saw on Saturday Eric Dick make a mistake on the first goal that the Rangers conceded. The first of 4 that's St. Louis FC ended up scoring there. And now San Antonio afforded a set piece in the early stages.
From the far side, left-footed in-swinger to come. Towards the near post. Akhmatov got his head to it. Here is Akhmatov trying to play it forward for Haji Berry, and it'll go all the way back now with Pekka. He'll go back to the goalkeeper, Matt Cardoni. Of note, San Antonio FC dealing with a lot of injuries as well. There's a foul by Justin Bilyeu, but you see Matt Cardoni back there in between the sticks. Diego Restrepo out today, as is Rafa Castillo, Stephen McCarthy, and Ryan Felix for the away side.
When you talk about Diego Restrepo, the reigning USL goalkeeper of the year, so certainly not easy shoes to fill for Matt Cardoni there, as we get a terrific look at that wonderful beard.
Stuff of legend, Matt Cardoni's beard. Lindsay takes it away, and now Belmar through the legs, streaking forward. Blackwood didn't quite get his touch right. Belmar leapt well. He's called for the foul. He's a bit upset. He thought he jumped for that one clean.
It's positive play here from Belmar, very direct as he marauds toward goal. Blackwood doesn't quite get his touch right there, and might be minimal contact there, perhaps a bit of an elbow to the back, but Belmar disagrees with the referee, Smir Pekmic.
Go, slide.
Belmar making his 17th start, applying the pressure here. It's back to Cardoni under some pressure. His clearance gets an important flick from Pekka, as it looked like Kuzain was there to start a quick counterattack. Here is Pekka again. Spraying it out to the right-hand side. Good first-time pass from Darnell King. One of the 2 fantastic fullbacks for this San Antonio FC side.
Might be the strong suit of this team when you look at Darnell King. 27 starts this season, 2 goals, 5 assists.
San Antonio in attack, left-footed shot blocked away by Mirjitic. Strength shown by Gordon, and now he's back onto it and has a rip towards the near post. Good side of goal for Omar Gordon there.
Just a small scare there for the Rangers, and it was good strength from Gordon to muscle off that challenge from, I believe it was Akhmatov. Pulled the trigger from outside the box. He was aiming for that near post. It was wide of Dick's right-hand post. Nevertheless, a decent look there for the visitors who come into this game in a similar position as the Rangers, in that they had pieced together a very impressive winning streak, only to fall in a 1-goal decision in very disappointing fashion as they went down to Tulsa, lost to the last place Roughnecks, which at this juncture of the season is simply not a good result, no matter how you slice and dice it.
There's Barry on good back tackling. Nice battle developing over there between Lance Lang and Haji Berry. Talked about them in pregame, 2 of the hotter players in the league right now, and right now operating on the same flank. Haji Berry has been a man possessed 6 straight games with a goal.
You can see it in the way he has approached every game, the movement in the attacking third, whether he's on the ball or he's not. The pressuring that he's put when SPR don't have the ball, and then when they do, his creativity, his pace on the ball, I think is something that a lot of USL defenders struggle to deal with, and he's been an absolute gem to watch, especially over the last month or so.
Well, we saw Carlton Belmar really start the season with a rip-roaring effort, moving towards the top of the Golden Boot charts, but a spell back with Sporting KC and some time on the sidelines, and still the 9 goals for Carlton Belmar. But this late hot streak from that man Haji Berry, he's back in consideration for the Golden Boot. Cameron Lancaster with Louisville has 19 goals. Form that Haji Berry is in, you can't necessarily rule him out in these last 4 games.
Well, it would take a few goal fests, wouldn't it, from Haji Berry, but we're talking purely about form. He's been the best forward in the USL since the start of September, and even going back into late August when the Rangers beat San Antonio FC down at Toyota Field in San Antonio by a 2-1 scoreline. Amir Jidic, the man on the ball right now, also getting on the score sheet in that one.
Rangers have a very good all-time record against this San Antonio team. Just 1 loss, 4 wins and 3 draws. The one San Antonio victory did come in Kansas City a year ago. So they have won in a place that many USL teams do struggle to get results. Here's Amir Jidic as, oh, excuse me, that's Graham Smith wearing the armband here today. Just looked at the hair and the armband there in my peripherals. Here is Amir Jidic. Scored in the last meeting between these two teams, 2-1 SPR victory back on August 25th down in San Antonio. Jalen Lindsay making his 6th appearance, all starts for this Swope Park Rangers team. Misplayed pass by Akhmatov, but it's returned right back to the Swope Park Rangers. Kuzain to the feet of Barry, trying to flick it on into Blackwood, who had some space but just couldn't quite beat the center back partnership of Hedrick and Moises Hernandez.
Blackwood almost snuck through there, didn't he? This is a good diagonal ball to Belmar.
Belmar sidestepping into the area. Still Belmar trying to just poke it through in the direction of Barry. Good defending. A little stiff arm there from Omar Gordon right in front of the SPR bench.
That's the second time that Omar Gordon has been on the ball, and SPR bench has wanted a foul. So obviously a very physical, very pacey player is Omar Gordon, a terrific athlete. Certainly one to keep an eye on if you're the Swope Park Rangers.
There's a loose pass, but cleaned up. Speaking of athletic, Jalen Lindsay just nipping in ahead of Omar Gordon, but it's back now with the visitors. Lance Lang checks back with Pekka. That's a good ball into Lang, who found some space. King making the overlap, but it's a switch of play. San Antonio calm in possession here. Hernandez, Mikey Lopez, I should say. Back now with Pekka. One-on-one, Lang sizing up Bill Yu. Looking for the run of Gordon, trying to find his compatriot, but now looking down at his boots, asking why that didn't go quite as he had planned.
No clear-cut chances so far, Carter, but I think we've otherwise seen a taste of just about everything. We've seen that sustained possession, that building out of the back from Swope Park Rangers. We've seen Barry and Belmar get on the ball a few times, square up defenders, and then on the opposite end, we've seen the likes of Gordon and Lang knock on the door a bit and around the penalty area. So certainly setting up in a fascinating manner. As we said, one is not enough for San Antonio. The Rangers themselves, having played a game more, will want all 3 build a little comfort.
Good 2-man game with Busio and Barry. Then Busio's shot blocked away by Sip Hedrick. Finds the center back partner Hernandez. It's a good ball up to the target forward, 99, Ever Guzman. And now San Antonio with some ideas moving forward. Presley into some space here. Connor Presley still going. It's blocked and took all the pace off the shot. Easy gather for Eric Dick.
Heads up move there from Presley, though. He was afforded a bit of space in that central channel. He took it. Rangers a bit fortunate there. That shot took maybe a slight deflection on the way through, lost steam as Eric Dick was able to collect comfortably.
Good ball from Rosenbeck Akhmatov as he tells Bilyeu to move forward into the area. Belmar, what a save! That's a fantastic save from Matt Cardoni down to his right. Belmar thought he scored.
This is magnificent from Matt Cardoni. Wonderful low ball whipped in from Bilyeu, and Belmar thinks he has his 10th of the season, but Matt Cardoni says, no, sir. Superb. From San Antonio's number 25.
How good is that? Moving to his left when the ball is struck and still able to reach that big right hand out and deflect it around the post. Keep this game scoreless. Gianluca Busio now from the corner. Curling it into the back post. Belmar heading it back into the area. Blackwood withstanding that challenge, and now it's flicked forward for Guzman, who's got a one-on-two matchup here if he can keep possession. He is eventually called for the foul as Akhmatov was able to get in front of him. Let's take another look, though, at that save from Matt Cardoni, where it really could be 1-0 Rangers here.
Belmar latches onto the end of this low cross from Bilyeu. Matt Cardoni sticking out his right paw to prevent that one from going in, and thanks to that man right there, we remain at 0-0.
Wonderful saves, wonderful camera work there all around from our crew as well. Several scintillating angles on that one. So it's still affairs even. There's a heavy challenge from Graham Smith, and now Guzman into the area, and he blasts over the crossbar. That was a golden opportunity for Eber Guzman. Graham Smith just a little too casual, but he lets it go to waste here.
Well, Guzman will be thinking about this missed chance tonight as Graham Smith gets caught on the ball. Guzman, the Mexican, doesn't quite wrap his right foot around it enough, and the chance goes begging for the visitors. And it could very easily be 1-1, Carter. Instead, we remain scoreless.
Each team getting their best chance of the game, and Mikey Lopez just getting help to his feet. He had to really wear that one in winning that tackle away from Graham Smith to afford his teammate a one-on-one situation in the box. And where Guzman leads this team with 8 goals. Right, he'll be thinking about that one all night. It was a wonderful opportunity. Chances on both ends as this game starts to open up a little bit.
As a veteran forward, you would expect Eber Guzman to do a bit better with that opportunity. Had the ball in an extremely favorable spot near the penalty area there. They just flashed it wide.
Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Pressure from San Antonio, forcing it back to Eric Dick. It's a wonderful leap, though, from Belmar into the path of Barry. Can he head it towards Blackwood? He could. And Blackwood is in behind, and he puts it wide. Well, the Killer Bees there. 2 headers and in behind. And another good chance for the hosts.
Such a good headed pass from Haji Berry, and Tyler Blackwood takes it down well with an excellent first touch. But the left-footed strike drags narrowly wide. This one has certainly opened up invitingly here in Kansas City. Chances, at both ends. We get a look at Tyler Blackwood there. 5 goals on the season, almost had 6.
You see how dangerous this front 3 is for the Swope Park Rangers. That one, just the ball lumped forward by Eric Dick. 2 wonderful athletic headers that are in behind with the pace of Tyler Blackwood. Plenty of speed and attack for both of these teams here tonight. Here comes Darnell King, sliding it inside for Lopez, who wins a 50-50 with Cousin to keep possession. Whipped in towards the 6, but one hops into the grateful arms of Eric Dick. Tries to restart things quickly now with Gianluca Busio. Cousin making his 18th start for the Rangers in midfield. that holding midfield position. One of two Rangers who were a part of the All-Star festivities for MLS this season, him and Jalen Lindsay. Getting good experience all over this season. The ball over the top for Belmar, who that speed to cause a few problems. Cardone taking no chances, and they'll whip it back all the way now to Graham Smith.
You mentioned Cousin and Lindsay, Carter, and how about Jalen Lindsay as an 18-year-old already knocking on the door with the US U20s. Just spent 2 weeks down in Bradenton, Florida with the US U20 men's national team as we get a look at number 26 there. One of the best prospects on the Sporting Kansas City roster. Certainly, put him in there. The ranks of Gianluca Busio, who's on the field tonight. Cousin, who's on the field tonight.
Some good youthful attacking, defending options on display for Swope Park Rangers here. It's a throw in high up the pitch for San Antonio. Rangers ask for a handball, it's not given. And here comes Presley now, just outside the area. San Antonio now the ones appealing for the handball inside the box, but nothing given by the referee. Cochran standing it up. Jidic rising above everyone. Loose on the edge of the area. Lopez has found Presley again in some space, trying to create room for a cross with his left foot, blocked away by Lindsay. Pekka tried the reverse pass, just didn't quite hit it where he wanted to, and now Akhmatov putting it in behind the back line of San Antonio. It's a good covering run there from Moises Hernandez to keep tabs on Tyler Blackwood. Looked like Blackwood might be favored to get to that ball.
It's a good no-nonsense challenge from Hernandez, as we see now Lang making the interception. And at the other end, we've seen Connor Presley find a few pockets of space. So Omar Gordon is on the ball now.
It's a great first touch with his chest to get around a defender. There's Presley. Physical challenge with Lindsay, and the loose ball falls to San Antonio. Lang all by himself on the near side corner flag. Left-footed cross, had a lot of pace on it. Guzman just a step behind there, trying to get in front of Eric Dick. This game opening up. Busio now inviting Belmar into the attack. Just behind the run of Haji Berry. That will drift out of play on the far side.
And it'll give both teams to catch their breath here. It's been an absolute track meet through the first quarter of the game. We've seen both teams build out deliberately, ask one or two questions in the attacking third, and then when possession switches hands, it is a quick counter. Katie barred the door the other way. Made for some entertaining stuff so far.
That one's well read by Justin Bilyeu, making his 6th start after suffering that knee injury in preseason. Able to recover, and he's a left back that the coaching staff really like here in Kansas City. Bilyeu, St. Louis native, getting his opportunity at left back here this evening again.
Bilyeu's a player that had been injured for most of the first part of the season, just now getting back into full fitness, and we've seen what he's capable of doing, as you alluded to. Put in some solid performances at that position, and certainly Paulo Nagamura wouldn't be giving him this opportunity if he didn't think he was capable of taking advantage of it.
Saw the cross earlier on from Bilyeu into Belmar. Evidence of that good quality delivery and service from the left-hand side. After some loose balls in midfield, Belmar picks it up, slides it in for Blackwood. Cochran, can he keep it in play? AR says he did. Well, if he did, that was excellent work, but was a close one to going out of play. And now San Antonio have played around the SPR press as a result. Good build-up, and look at the speed from Darnell King, charging forward, sliding it in behind for Guzman. Just a little too far, and Eric Dick was quick off his line.
We've seen San Antonio, once they get past that initial wave of SPR pressure, they're looking dangerous there in the attacking half. And then on the other end, Belmar, Blackwood, Barry, all kind of working off of each other, making weaving runs. Certainly tough to defend if you're San Antonio. Both back lines needing to be on their heels here. You get the feeling that that first goal could be absolutely massive because it could really change the state of this game. Right now it is wide open. We've settled into a bit of a track meet, as we've said a few times already, but that first goal could change a lot of things, and the posture of one team could change significantly.
Busio trying to play playmaker. He used his strength to get past Pekka, but his pass in behind was well caught out. Now Lopez, edge of the area, takes the deflection. Out for a corner kick. Amir Jidic not allowing that one to even test his goalkeeper.
This is cleanly hit from Mikey Lopez, the former Sporting Kansas City man who spent his first 3 years as a pro here at Children's Mercy Park. Jidic in the right spot there, right off his dome, and San Antonio now with another corner.
14th overall pick in 2013 for Sporting Kansas City, Mikey Lopez, in 14 appearances for SKC over 2 seasons. Went on to make 27 more for NYCFC in MLS before moving to San Antonio for this season. He set up this corner kick for the visitors. Lang to take.
Go, go.
Out swinging to the back post. Good delivery. Gordon heads it down. Barry doesn't quite get his clearance the way he would like. Still alive for San Antonio. There's a heavy challenge from Sip Hedrick on Kuzain, who just managed to get there and clear the danger. As a result, that will be a yellow card for Cyprian Hedrick on his return here to Kansas City.
It's an easy call for the referee, Ismir Pekmic. Absolutely a bookable offense, as we see Hedrick is going to fly into this challenge recklessly. High studs, even catching him a bit with the elbow there. Kuzain feeling that one.
Sore one for the youngster, the homegrown player for SKC. And now the center backs for San Antonio on a yellow card with over an hour to play. 3 speedy players in attack for the Swope Park Rangers. Here's one of those. Haji Berry coming back to get on the ball. Smith in for Busio. Nagamura liked that one, if you hear him. Graham Smith, well done from the sidelines. Rangers switch play now to the left-hand side. Barry, first time pass. Look of Rakhmatov doesn't quite come off for Haji Berry. Really making the most of his time here with the Swope Park Rangers, coming over from Orlando City organization. Patience here from the Rangers as we are nearing a half hour played. Still scoreless. Just one shot for the Rangers, but it required a wonder save from Matt Cardoni. 5 shots for San Antonio FC so far. Can Bill you keep this in play? He can. First time cross, Cardoni read it all the way. Well, it looked like that was going to drift out. Just about everyone on the field stopped except Justin Bilyeu.
It was a delightful diagonal ball played into Bilyeu, who caught that low cross well. Cardoni able to collect, but Bilyeu certainly providing an outlet of danger there for the Swope Park Rangers on the left side, that overlap.
Pekka in between center backs to grab possession. The The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter.
Certainly an exciting time for the league, Carter. Playoff picture taking shape. FC Cincinnati in cruise control out east, but plenty of questions to be asked out west. The cross comes in for Eric Dick.
A lot of questions to be asked in the East as well. Cincinnati, the only team to have clinched a playoff spot.
Sure.
At the time of kick here. So much still to play for with just a handful of games remaining for most teams.
Rangers' schedule sets up a bit interestingly in that the foul there on Presley, he clatters into Kuzain. Rangers' schedule is a bit odd, isn't it, in that they will play at Tulsa Roughnecks on Saturday, and then they will play only twice more over the final 3 weeks of the season. They will play on Wednesday, October 3rd, and Sunday, October 14th. So 10 games in between those final few games for the Rangers. And then for San Antonio, they probably will be liking the way that their schedule sets up as well. They're at St. Louis this Saturday, and then 3 straight at home to close out.
San Antonio in the midst of a 3-game road swing here. Certainly Darren Powell will be looking forward to returning to home confines. As you mentioned, Sam, perhaps the ability to control their own destiny at home with that home stretch to end this campaign.
And you look at those 3 opponents, all 3 of them are currently below the playoff line for San Antonio. Seattle Sounders 2, Las Vegas Lights, and RGV.
Belmar playing it in behind for Akhmatov. Stops on the ball just outside the area. Belmar now. Around Pekka. Splits the defenders and finds Bilyeu. Acres of space on the left. Good ball in for Barry, who left it. Oh, and just perhaps not the right option there from Haji Barry.
Barry left it, and he should have hit that ball first time. We see Bilyeu again creating another chance. That incisive pass into the box, and when Barry chose to let that one roll past him, Bilyeu kind of raised his arm a bit. A bit of confusion just offside there is Carlton Belmar. But Bilyeu himself wanted Barry to take that shot.
Take another look at that effort from Haji Barry. Again, Bilyeu with some good service from the left-hand side.
Second ball, boost.
Must have heard a shout there.
Yeah, and so many players, especially those fullbacks, they'll get forward. So many times what we see is them just whip in a hopeful cross, but Bilyeu had his head up there and he picked out a very calm, clever pass. Found Barry, but as you said, Barry might have been called off. Chance is gone.
Good touch from Bilyeu to just poke that one away, and now Rangers can keep possession. Kuzain dribbling into the center circle. Well, the Rangers still fighting for their playoff lives, but they could also have a chance to move up and still an outside shot at hosting a game and getting that magical 4 seed that's been so kind to the Swope Park Rangers over the past 2 seasons.
Certainly some work to be done if they're to displace the current 4th place team in Sacramento Republic, but not out of the question. I think it would probably quite honestly require them to take minimum 10 points, probably the maximum 12 over their final 4 games. We certainly can't rule it out just yet.
This one with that English is going to just stay in play, so Lindsay will play it all the way back with Eric Dick. Kuzain gets a shout from Belmar. And now a defender down, and so Blackwood is in behind. Lays it across for Busio, and it's just too far. Still alive, though. Busio, edge of the area. Akhmatov sizes it up, and he'll curl it wide past the post. San Antonio and Greg Cochran arguing for a foul here back near the halfway line, and that allowed Tyler Blackwood to get in all types of space in the right inside channel.
Yeah, he receives an excellent through ball here from Carlton Belmar. He can either shoot from a tight angle or serve it up for Busio. It's just a bit too far out in front of the 16-year-old. And then Akhmatov's long-range effort floats harmlessly wide.
Hey, come on, get going, come on!
Not a bad moment there from the Swope Park Rangers.
Tyler Blackwood shrugging off the efforts of Greg Cochran there to get in behind. Just couldn't quite connect with Busio in the box. Rangers on the high press. Lopez able to keep the ball. Cochran will stand it up. Well, there's a playoff challenge if you'll ever see one. Lopez and Graham Smith went full-hearted into that challenge.
I was going to say full-blooded myself. I think full-hearted is equally apt for that type of challenge between Lopez and Smith.
Good tackle there from Belmar in the corner as Cochran was looking to play it off him, out of play.
Good. Got over it. Good.
Like that physicality from both of those players. Neither of them complaining after the challenge. Here's Smith again. Clever little chip pass to break the lines, and now Busio looking for the switch, but doesn't come off for the youngster. Allows Darnell King to get back in and recover the ball. That's clever from Pekka as he saw the sliding challenge coming from Akhmatov and just pops it over him. Lopez just keeping things ticking for the visitors. Here's Moises Hernandez on loan from FC Dallas. Lofting it over. It's a clever ball for Cochran, who takes it first time. Out of play for a goal kick. Captain for San Antonio, 97, making 98 now, career appearances. He's played in 92% of the team's all-time minutes. Ever present for San Antonio since their inception.
Certainly has, and he's someone who you could probably have seen it coming the day he signed for San Antonio. Obviously, he gained very good experience, did Cochran at LA Galaxy in 2013 and then Chicago Fire 2014 and 2015. So he came to San Antonio with a bit of pedigree under his belt. He's certainly been an extremely important fixture in this lineup under head coach Darren Powell.
High boot from Blackwood, and actually it's going to be a foul on San Antonio, and Darren Powell and the bench can't believe it.
It's embarrassing. That's 5 in the row, 5 goals. I'll tell you what.
Oh. He'll tell you what, he doesn't like that call.
Certainly no disguising how Darren Powell feels about this one as we see the ball get looped forward. He'll probably be disappointed by how high Blackwood's boot was there, but Hedrick whistled for the foul as he does initiate some of that contact there. Perhaps a bit hard done by.
On a yellow card as well. Cyprian Hedrick.
Go on, Colour. Right shoulder lamps.
Smith lofts it forward. Well, won by Cochran. Akhmatov just in front of Pekka, but it falls to Guzman.
Keep going, lad!
Here's Presley. We've seen him pop up, as you mentioned, Sam, all over the pitch. Started in the center, but here he is on the left. Sizing up space for a cross, and it gets past Jidic and off the thigh of Guzman, out of play. Oh, that was a close call for the SPR center half.
Here we see a really, really good cross whipped in by Presley. It's over Jidic's head, but Guzman can't collect. And Presley, we see Guzman there. Presley has started well tonight. San Antonio, how about this? 9-2-3 this season when Presley starts. 9-2-3 in 14 starts. 21 total appearances for the 20-year-old out of McNeil High School in Austin, Texas.
Well, if I'm him, I'm in the coach's room and showing him that stat. See why he's a great prospect for the San Antonio FC side. Spent some of his youth career with FC Dallas. Good here tonight, Connor Presley. Here he is pressing Mirjitic. Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer. Advantage played by the referee, Bill Yu, again with some good service. Busio dribbling around the edge of the box. Good challenge there from King. And he'll pop all the way back with Akhmatov. Neither of these teams has been shy of the tackle here in the first half. Been some good chances, but been kind of spaced out throughout this opening 40 minutes, haven't they?
I think both teams will be looking at flash points here in the first 40 minutes in which they could have taken the lead. And you never know which team will be able to take advantage, which will end up ruining their chances. Those that they failed to take advantage of, I should say.
Hussein picks up the loose change here. A few step overs, challenge, and right in front of the referee, he says nothing doing. Darnell King just able to slide in front there.
And upon first look, I think that's the right call. There's a no call from Ismir Pekmic. The man in the middle had a very, very good view of that one as Kuzain made that run into the penalty area.
Akhmatov putting a lot of loft onto that ball. Cochran couldn't quite get to it as Lindsay was there to head it on. A foul on Busio, and going back to this challenge in the box.
I think at the end of the day, it's a fair decision by the referee, a no call, as we saw Kuzain go down there, but Darnell King unpunished. Florida Atlantic product.
Yeah, looked like some contact there, but enough for a penalty in the referee's eyes. It's a clever turn from Akhmatov. He's got the real estate of Children's Mercy Park at his leisure, but trying to 1-2 Busio, giving it back now to San Antonio.
I thought that was the right idea there from Busio, who maybe expected Akhmatov to continue his run forward. Now Akhmatov commits the foul.
Pekka just able to slide in front there and draw this foul. Wellington Jorge Packard Stanislaus, aka Pekka.
And see why they only call him Pekka.
I agree. I'm sure I butchered that. Apologies to number 8 for San Antonio, coming up through the famed Flamengo Youth Academy. Some experience with RSL here in the States. Pekka making his 17th start for San Antonio this season. Here he is again on the ball. Exchange of passes with Hedrick.
Pekka's lone goal this season came against the Swope Park Rangers in their 1-1 draw down in San Antonio on April 7th. In that game, Carlton Belmar scored for the Rangers. We see another call made that Darren Powell is aggrieved to have seen go against his team.
Kuzain just sliding in front there and taking a foul on the knee. Akhmatov in midfield for the Rangers. Just signed on August 3rd and is making his 5th start already for SPR. Here he is playing it forward for Bill Yu, and that ball is going to stay in play, so Darnell King can go and retrieve. Cardone standing one up for Gordon, who uses his body well initially and continually. Shield off the efforts of Bilyeu. He draws a foul here. That was good work there from Omar Gordon. Akhmatov now. And a talking to from Ismir Pekmic. Omar Gordon, 6 Jamaican caps to his name. Excellent work there to draw that foul. And now Presley trying to stream forward, takes a sliding challenge from Jidic to stop his progress moving forward. Be a throw in for San Antonio deep in their attacking half as we move into the final seconds of regular time here in the first half. Sounds like there'll be 1 minute added on here. Children's Mercy Park takes the deflection off Presley, out of play. There's confirmation of the minute of stoppage time. So 1 minute here for one of these teams to find what would be a back-breaking goal just before halftime.
Certainly would be. This is a game that has produced no goals, but a handful of chances on both ends. I think right now both teams, given the way that things have gone, would be more than all right going to the break scoreless. To concede now would be absolutely devastating.
King does really well there to spin away from 2 defenders. Lopez over for Cocker. And for Lang, who's closed down by a double team of Lindsay and Busio. Hussein streaking forward and upset to hear the whistle. As we go into halftime scoreless. Still so much on the line here in Kansas City. 3 points separating these 2 teams in the Western Conference standings. Can one of them find a winner in the second half that would go a long way to booking their place in the playoffs? We'll find out. Stick with us. We'll be back to analyze the first half action as it's scoreless at the break between the Swope Park Rangers and San Antonio FC. Still scoreless here in Kansas City. The Swope Park Rangers and San Antonio FC knotted up at zeros. Well, this month marked the start of a wonderful initiative between Sporting Kansas City and chief partner Children's Mercy as they started a campaign against bullying, and we'll take you behind the scenes of the start of the Red Card anti-bullying campaign for Sporting Kansas City and Children's Mercy.
Sporting Kansas City and Children's Mercy are joining together to strengthen our community by addressing one of the most significant social issues impacting children and teens, bullying. More than 1 out of every 5 students will be bullied this year. Chances are this is happening to someone you know and care about. Using soccer's iconic red card as a figurative visual tool, we hope to highlight instances of bullying in schools and our community. We want to inspire you to take action and to take a stance together to end bullying. All fans received a Call It When You See It red card tonight. Stand with us as together we commit to putting an end to bullying in our Kansas City community. Together, let's call it when we see it.
It's a big opportunity for some players coming off the bench for Sporting Kansas City here tonight in a vital matchup. You've got to win your home games in order to take the points down the stretch and put yourself in great position for the playoffs. The ball over the top for Dom Dwyer, and he's on toward goal. It's saved by Tim Melia. Melia denies his former teammate, who was one-on-one with the keeper.
He stood up big and strong. Great goalkeeping once again from Tim Melia.
Now Elie. Now wide to Quase. Gutierrez with the left foot, and he finds the back of the net. The first goal for Felipe Gutierrez since coming back from surgery, and it puts Sporting KC up 1-0. Comes Orlando City the other way, and here's Dom Dwyer, and he's denied by Melia once again. Tim Melia has stood up strong to Dom Dwyer once in the first half and now in the second.
Wonderful to see that partnership blossoming between Sporting Kansas City and Children's Mercy. Well, the moon is out here in Kansas City. Can one of these teams find a winner in the second half? It's the Swope Park Rangers and San Antonio FC. Stick with us. We'll be back for analysis of the first half.
Theo takes a shot, and that one is good.
And so Francis tapped over the bar by Dan Lind.
Shan cutting it across, the shot is on and in. Hernandez tipped over the bar by Perino. That's number 1 at his best. Here's Saeed, goal! Oh my goodness!
Off to Adi, a save is made by Patterson Sewell.
To the right foot of Rio, shot goal!
David Olsen goes for goal, tipped up by Wazinski.
Tsubasa Endo with a great-looking strike. Endo with some room. Takes a strike. Endo hits it and has a hat trick. Forced lasso. Oh, look at Fernando Adi. Into the box. Fernando Adi, far post. Into the box. Corbin Bone. Corbin Bone heads it in. With that goal, Manu Ledesma sets a new USL record for assists in a season.
Goal and a score! Incredible goal!
Tampa Bay. They'll try and send one in on the ground. Score! And his service in finds the back of the net.
Wow. It's headed back across and down and in. And is buried into the back of the net.
This could be their moment. It's Baril! Yes!
Ball to Decker, and what a shot at the corner of the net. Right-footed shot, and he has it. And St. Louis has stolen a goal. Now headed in for a goal. Oh, and St. Louis has done it.
And there it is. He's just scored.
And then as Sharp turns the near post, is scored.
Bends it in. Brett is denied and stopped again.
Tambaki's got just enough of a look at it.
And he puts it in. Rips that shot. Followed up and in. And he puts his team ahead once again.
Halftime here at Children's Mercy Park. 0-0 the score between the Swope Park Rangers and San Antonio FC. With Sam Cosman, I'm Carter Augustine. Sam, let's take a look at the halftime stats between these two teams, as there were some really good chances on both sides, but somehow we remain knotted at zeros.
Well, a very delicately poised first half is what we saw, and I expect more of the same here in the second. Not too much in the way of shots on target, but we did see Matt Cardone come up with a massive save in the first half to keep this one 0-0.
60-40 the possession split. So Swope Park Rangers keeping the ball well in that first half. San Antonio pressing well as well. Let's take a look now at why this game is so important for both of these teams. The Western Conference standings in the USL, as the Swope Park Rangers currently in 6th on 46 points, but in 9th are the visitors, San Antonio FC, 43 points, and they played a game less than SPR.
Yeah, and with a win tonight, San Antonio can take that 6th place position. It would be a massive result for them, to say the least. And then Swope Park Rangers, they want to be ambitious, eyeing that 4th place spot potentially, and a chance at a home playoff game. In order to do that, they have to displace the Portland Timbers 2 side, who have been in great form so far. So a tough task for the Rangers. If you're looking at top 4, I think right now Paul Nagamura's side would be happy with a playoff spot.
Of course, that 4 spot has been so wonderful to this Swope Park Rangers team. 4th seed in both of the last 2 seasons, and made it all the way to the Western Conference, USL Cup final. And Sam, you talk about it, they're going to have to pick up a lot of points here in the remaining games, and who are they going to play against? Take a look at the rest of the season schedule for the Swope Park Rangers. After today, just 3 games remaining.
3 winnable games. When you look at Tulsa Roughnecks, last place in the Western Conference, but not a team that you'd want to take lightly, as San Antonio can attest, having lost to them over the weekend at Sacramento Republic. Tough game, admittedly, but a place where SPR has gotten positive results in the past. And then finally, the season finale here at Children's Mercy Park on October 14th against Los Dos.
Galaxy down in 13th position, out of the playoff race. That could be a big one to close out the season for the Swope Park Rangers. But this one, still a half to go here. Scoreless between the Swope Park Rangers and San Antonio FC. Oh, what a goal would mean for either one of these teams. Can someone find it in the second half? Stay tuned. We'll be back for the second half kick from Kansas City, Kansas. 0-0 the score here in Kansas City as the Swope Park Rangers and San Antonio FC prepare to take the field here for the second half. Let's take a look at the highlights from that first half, as there are a couple of good chances for either side. San Antonio pressing well in the early stages. This man's been involved, so Omar Gordon, the sider at the near post of Eric Dick. So too has Connor Presley been around, and this was probably the best chance of the game for San Antonio.
Certainly was. Ever Guzman racing onto this loose ball. He just can't quite wrap his right foot around that one. And SPR let off the hook, then Justin Billy whips in a delightful low cross. Belmar thinks he has his 10th of the season, but Matt Cardoni, with the play of the game so far, sticking out his right hand to deny Belmar and keep this one 0-0.
Lovely save from Matt Cardoni. And another good chance came through the Killer Bees. 2 headers into the path of Blackwood.
Yeah, Barry does well to set up Blackwood there. Drags the shot wide. As we get a good look at this one, Blackwood 5 goals on the season, almost had number 6. Wasn't meant to be.
So a couple of good chances for either side.
9, 8,
but neither able to make one of those chances tell. So much at stake here in the second half. San Antonio know a win here would do them wonders in their playoff push. Would send them above the Swope Park Rangers into 6th place with a game in hand as well. Swope Park Rangers looking to at least hold serve here as we are underway again in the second half. Children's Mercy Park in Kansas City, Kansas. Teams have switched sides. Swope Park Rangers from right to left now in their all blue. San Antonio left to right, the all white. Swope Park Rangers will start with possession. Going all the way back now with Eric Dick, trying to build up through the back, and Lindsay is able to keep it. Akhmatov now. And for Kuzane, this is good first possession of the second half for the Swope Park Rangers. Barry in behind for Bilyeu. First time cross. Cardoni can't get to it, and it's hooked clear by Greg Cochran.
Bilyeu has been the man making the most danger for the Swope Park Rangers, and that continues immediately after the restart. He gets another left-footed service in there. Cardoni can't corral it cleanly. Belmar was nearly on the end of that one, but it's heads-up defending from San Antonio.
San Antonio captain there. Cochran, captain's intervention as Pacey Belmar was looking lively on the back post there. Bilyeu now in again for Barry. Mirjidic dribbled himself into some trouble, just able to keep it away from the pressing of Mikey Lopez.
The last thing you want to see if you're the Swope Park Rangers this half is self-inflicted wounds. We saw so many of those on Saturday, didn't we, from this team? And their 4-3 home loss to St. Louis FC. All 4 goals. It's a good diagonal ball there from Lucio.
Cross from Lindsay, low towards the penalty spot, hooked clear by Hernandez. Lindsay sees that move coming from Lang, and he wins possession back for the Rangers, who have started this second half very much on the front foot.
I think what you hope to see from this final 45 minutes, and I'm shocked if we don't see it, is both teams continuing to battle with a real sense of urgency.
Here's Eric Dick dribbling into some trouble, and he's just able to get that one clear. Nervy stuff from Swope Park Rangers goalkeeper.
Just as I said, Carter, Rangers playing with fire again in the back. As Omar Gordon is whistled for a foul, we're gonna see Eric Dick get caught with the ball at his feet here. Guzman applying the pressure. He does just enough to get out of that mess.
Able to shrug off the challenge of Guzman, and that's what allowed him to just about clean up a mess of his own making. Well, talk about it, Sam. Seen it from Mirjidic so far in this early stage of the second half, and now Eric Dick. Some loose passing in the back as well, and Kuzain has to be alert to that danger. He picks up a yellow card against Mikey Lopez. He had to be on his toes there, the holding midfielder for Swope Park Rangers.
Kuzain does really well here because he's passed a ball from Dick out of the back. Immediately a few San Antonio players converge on him, and that is a meaty challenge from Lopez, worthy of a yellow card.
Second man in the books for San Antonio, who, as we mentioned, are second in the league in yellow cards coming into this game. Very physical team all around the pitch. And again, they win possession back in a good area. Presley forward now for Lang. Left-footed cross, standing it up, and Nick is able to get there. Now there's some space for Busio going the other direction.
Go high.
Fighting the challenge from Pekka is Busio, and now trying to dribble past Pekka, who just gets into the player. Thought he got the ball, but referee saying there's a little bit of the man before that. So foul against San Antonio.
Well, it wasn't an overly physical first half, but the second half has certainly given us something different as we see Busio do well to shield himself from the challenge there. Pekka disagreeing with the referee. I think he thought that he got enough of the ball there, but he went straight through Busio, and now the 16-year-old will have a free kick for the hosts.
A couple of big bodies moving forward. 6'3" Graham Smith, 6'4" Amir Jidic into the penalty area, or just outside, I should say, as that's where San Antonio is holding their line. Busio in towards the back post. Bilyeu was lurking, so Hedrick had to get ahead onto that. Jidic keeps it in play. Kuzain now with Barry. Reverse pass. Blackwood is onside. Blackwood back for Barry! Record breaker for Haji Barry! 7 games on the trot! And he'll do the trot into top spot in the single season scoring records for the Swope Park Rangers.
7th heaven for Haji Barry, who makes history in Kansas City. A delightful combination between him and Blackwood, and he makes no mistake with this finish. That vision, that initial pass there, that is excellent. And then an absolutely lethal finish into the corner. Cool as you like. Swope Park Rangers 1, San Antonio 0. Little extracurricular activity here as we see Barry go down, point to the sky. He has 15 goals this season. That is a Swope Park Rangers regular season record. Not to mention goals in 7 straight games. A league record for that man, a man in form, Haji Barry.
Well, he's taken his time to soak in this moment, and deservedly so. Haji Barry just been devastating over the past 7 games. 7 games in a row he's scored. USL record. And as we've mentioned, now finds himself at the top of the single season scoring charts. The Swope Park Rangers, 25-year-old, born in Guinea.
He absolutely hammered that one into the corner of the net, but more impressed by that initial pass that split the San Antonio defense. That pass that found Blackwood, and then Blackwood picked up his head, returned the favor, picking out Barry near the penalty spot. That is the all-important breakthrough goal for Swope Park Rangers. It'll be interesting to see how that goal changes the complexion of this game. It's been a very physical start to this half.
Well, Eric Dick not put off by his earlier dribbling mishaps, keeps it alive, and it's a heavy touch from Pekka when there are plenty of white shirts and good attacking positions there. It's getting a clapping from Darren Powell on the sidelines. mentioned it, Sam. What a pass that was from Haji Berry to start the move. And again, a wonderful return from Tyler Blackwood, who gets his second assist on the season. The way he's played this season, you figured he'd have more than just the 2.
It certainly feels like more, doesn't it? The way that he has constantly been involved in SPR buildups. Very dynamic attacker, Tyler Blackwood. Cerebral on the ball.
Let's take another look at this wonderfully taken goal to give the Swope Park Rangers a 1-0 lead here in the second half.
And there's not much more you can say that we haven't already said. That vision right there.
I mean, how many players does that pass cut out there?
There he is. Sensational stuff. Bang into the side netting. Cardoni, no chance.
Coolly taken finish. What you've come to expect from that man over the second half of the season. Leads the team in minutes as well. Haji Berry, it's been a wonderful addition to the Swope Park Rangers. Tied for first in assists. Physical battle along the near sideline. Bilyeu comes away with it. There's quick feet from Busio. Looked like he might lose out. He's able to get it around the defender, and now the Rangers charging down the right-hand side with Belmar. To the back post. Blackwood has a go. And it stays in play. Belmar now. Keeps it in. Shout to the sideline from San Antonio, but play continues on here.
Excellent work from Belmar to keep the ball in on 2 occasions there. He starts that play up by delivering an excellent service to the far post. That volley from Blackwood went wayward, but Belmar keeping it alive again, and that's why the Rangers now find themselves with a throw-in deep in the attacking half.
Berry dual one-on-one with Hedrick, who poked it out of play, so Bilyeu will come forward from his left back position to take this throw-in just by the corner flag. Checks it back with Jidic. Twisting and turning away from Gordon. Now looking for that big diagonal switch, and he's found it right onto the right boot of Jalen Lindsay. Akhmatov. Patient build-up. Blackwood around a defender, able to deflect it back into the attacking third. And Bilyeu cleans it up. Busio finds Belmar. Lindsay into the area. Just deflected away from the path of Gianluca Busio, who was reaching back to have a rip around the penalty area there.
Almost homegrown to homegrown there. The 18-year-old almost picking up the 16-year-old. About a combined age of 34.
Open all the way, all the way, all the way.
My math is correct.
I can't help you out there, Sam. I'll have to take your word for it. Certainly makes me feel old, though. Jidic again. Second wonderful raking crossfield diagonal in as many minutes, but Belmar just getting the wheels a little ahead of the cart there. Stay up to date with all of the best from social media around the USL by watching Off the Post with Kelsey Steele every Friday evening on the USL's social media channels. Cardoni will play it short here. San Antonio trying to find a way back into the game after conceding to Haji Berry. Nice flick, but Jidic is aware to the danger of Guzman trying to run in behind. Now Bilyeu with a slack back pass, and Dick has to hook that one clear. He's actually found a good out ball to Haji Berry on the near hand side.
This is a point in the game where SPR just has to remain concentrated. They took the lead on Saturday against St. Louis FC, only to concede 4 unanswered goals. Once one occurred, 2, 3, 4 came shortly thereafter. It's tough for the Rangers to stop that bleeding, so I think tonight it's simply a matter of keeping that concentration. As we mentioned, those 4 goals conceded, you could look back at individual errors and all of the plays that led to St. Louis FC scoring. This is a team that has enough quality on it to where they play within themselves. They're awfully tough to break down, especially with Jidic and Smith anchoring that back line. Of course, Lindsay, who has played 10 games this season for Sporting KC.
Gordon in behind for Guzman, who just couldn't get that under his control. Looks like a decent opportunity for Guzman and Lang on the far side. Ball just behind the number 99. Belmar will check it back with Jidic. Quickly into the feet of Bilyeu. Touches it inside. And Busio is tackled away importantly by Moises Hernandez. Rangers trying to draw San Antonio out here. Cochran able to read the flight of that ball. Shouts a man on from the bench as Haji Berry pressing right back Cornell King and then Sip Hedrick. Hernandez is diagonal, intercepted by Bilyeu, but now King just around the area. King trying to slide it in behind. Good reading of the game there by Amir Jidic. Gordon, deep cross. He's found Lance Lang with a wonderful pass. And Lang now charging into the area, cutting it back. Lindsay able to get back to his feet and blocks it up for Eric Dick to come and gather.
Excellent from Jalen Lindsay there as he stands up well to Lance Lang, who is tough to stay in front of at full steam, and he had squared up the 18-year-old, but Lindsay doing awfully well there.
Akhmatov fouls Antonio. Pekka the man to go down under the challenge. But we're over an hour played here in Kansas City, Kansas. Swope Park Rangers leading through a second half goal by Haji Berry. So trying to hold off San Antonio in the Western Conference playoff race. Half an hour change now for the visitors to get a goal result here on the road in Kansas City. Gordon, that's a wonderful cross into the area, offside. Wouldn't have counted. Went wide there for Mikey Lopez anyway. Have to credit the pass here from Omar Gordon from the right-hand side.
It's a great look from the Jamaican as he curls it in toward the penalty box. Great look there from Mikey Lopez. Straight offside, however. It's a good line being held by the SPR defense. This final half hour is going to set up very, very interestingly as San Antonio quite simply in desperation mode here as a loss. Simply unaffordable. Perhaps mathematically affordable, but you get the feeling that a loss here as a tough challenge here from Billy, who gets him put into the books. It's a yellow card. You get the feeling that San Antonio quite simply cannot afford to lose this game whatsoever.
Well, their position in 9th right now in the Western Conference. They're 2 points behind Reno in 8th, but Reno has played a game less even than San Antonio. And they're 3 points behind St. Louis FC with this game in hand. Of course, if they lose here this evening, they'll be level on games played with St. Louis and behind 3 points. The Swope Park Rangers with a win would go to 6 points ahead of San Antonio.
I suppose a loss here for San Antonio wouldn't be a total nail in the coffin, but would certainly deliver a blow and San Antonio would have an opportunity to bounce back with a win over St. Louis FC on Saturday. Talk about a massive road trip here for this team.
Intercepted again by Jidic. He's found Busio, who splits the defenders. Look at all the space for Akhmatov to run into. Lays it off for Belmar, right-hand side. Lays it back into pressure, and Kuzain didn't feel the pressure. But a cleansing tackle there from Graham Smith to snuff out the counterattack from San Antonio. And we'll have a pause as it's the first substitution of the game. San Antonio, first to roll the die. Connor Presley being withdrawn as Maxi Rodriguez will come in for his 14th appearance, 9th substitute appearance for Maxi Rodriguez. He will replace the youngster, and I think you heard the instructions there from Darren Powell as well to tell the left back, Greg Cochran, to move up the pitch.
Well, I liked what I saw from Connor Presley in the first half as he was able to exploit a few spaces left unoccupied by SPR and deliver a few decent balls in. I think his tank may have been running low, and now Maxi Rodriguez bringing on fresh legs. Just as we heard from Darren Powell, this change will prompt Cochran to get forward a bit more. San Antonio in need of an equalizer.
Move there from Belmar, gets a round of applause from the crowd, and then he keeps play well with Akhmatov. One-touch passing, slick moving here from Swope Park Rangers. And you heard the bench screaming for again as they wanted Barry to continue that move out to the left-hand side. He looked inside, it's stolen away by San Antonio.
Bill, you had acreage out there on the left. San Antonio will be thankful that that move did not come to fruition for the Rangers. What often happens in these situations is when the team trailing hunts for that equalizer, pushing men forward, obviously leaves you exposed at the back. You'd expect the Rangers to stay awfully dangerous here over the final 25 minutes.
Darnell King has popped up inside here ever since that substitution. See if that continues. The right back playing more of a midfield role at the moment. Jidic has this one cleared. It's a wayward pass from Rodriguez. Makes Hedrick go back and retrieve it. Here is the second half substitute. Trying to sidestep Busio. Has just enough strength to keep possession for the visitors.
You can carry the ball down now. When you get it, can you carry it?
Intercepted by Lindsay, 1-2, and now around a defender, draws the foul. Wonderful play. The young right back for the Swope Park Rangers.
It really was. It's good for him to step up there, make the interception, but then have the wherewithal to carry the ball forward and draw this foul on Gordon.
Gordon unhappy. I think he not much contact there. The referee right on the spot. So the Rangers again playing it around the back. Pekka leading the charge now for San Antonio. It's a wayward pass from Merrick Digg. Now San Antonio can try and move forward, but Akhmatov just sticks a boot in at the last second to thwart Zipper and Hedrick's plans. Hedrick does well to win possession back for San Antonio. Moises Hernandez on his second stint with FC Dallas, just rejoined FC Dallas about a month ago on loan here with San Antonio FC. He's from the Dallas area. USA U20 international Moises Hernandez, but on to playing his senior international soccer with Guatemala. 15 caps for Guatemala and making his third start since joining San Antonio on September 6th. trying to get his eyes up, pick out a pass for Barry, but well defended by Darnell King, who then wins the foul. King charging infield, finds Gordon. Lopez on the right-hand side, back now with Gordon. Good build-up here from San Antonio. King with the reverse ball towards Gordon, just behind the right winger.
Decent build-up there from the visitors, and what we've seen is the fullbacks really get forward, especially when the ball is on the strong side of the field. Fullback in that position will get forward on the overlap, more so than you would even typically see this team do over the course of a game. Certainly have options for width. Put them in positions where there'll be crosses coming in from the left and right. It'll be up to the Rangers to repel those, obviously. I think it'll be up to the San Antonio's attackers to make smart runs in the box as well. As those balls come in, expect the likes of King and Cochran to have plenty of deliveries into the danger area over the final 20 minutes or so.
San Antonio presence on the ball growing here in the second half, but commentators curse as Hernandez tries to fit that into a tight window. Bucio now dribbling to a triple team, but through a triple team, and he's found Haji Berry in space. Haji Berry tries to round the keeper and then puts his hand down on the ball. Wonderful goalkeeping again there from Matt Cardoni.
Cardoni stands up well. He doesn't commit himself. Haji Berry tries to round him, get the ball onto his right foot. Can't do so. How good was that, though, from Gianluca Bucio to carry the ball forward calmly and then slide Berry through on goal. And I think Berry maybe catches Cardoni a bit. Now we've got a switch for the Rangers as Felipe Hernandez, the 20-year-old, comes on for the 16-year-old Gianluca Bucio.
That's the last interaction of the game for Gianluca Bucio. Decent one at that. So dribbled over to the left-hand side, sucked in a few defenders, and created a wonderful chance for Haji Berry. He's replaced, as you mentioned, by Felipe Hernandez, SKC Academy product. He started all but 2 of his appearances coming into this game, so this is his 3rd appearance off the bench. His 29th overall.
I think that was probably Gianluca Bucio's best contribution of the night there. Not to say that he had a bad evening by any means, but the fact that he's able to show some maturity there, kind of hold the ball up, drift in the attacking third, and spring Berry free.
Well, we saw a wonderful initiative between Sporting and Children's Mercy at halftime, but it's a nice initiative here tonight for the Swope Park Rangers. That wonderful hat can be yours if you make a donation to the Victory Project. The first 250 people here were able to do that. Here's a wonderful dribbling effort, solo effort from Cousin, streaking in behind and tracked down at the very last second by Darnell King.
An absolutely massive intervention from Darnell King to prevent Cousin from going clear on goal. What a run it was from the Sporting KC homegrown, the Sporting KC Academy product. Not something we typically see from the number 6, who wears number 75 on the back of his jersey. Darnell King with a big-time tackle there.
Huge intervention, still catching his breath as he needed every ounce of his speed to get back there. Belmar heads it back towards goal, but out of play for a goal kick. Well, I've been trying to start the Malaysian Makalele tag, but perhaps there's a little bit of the flash of why you see he's called the Malaysian Messi in some circles. Cousin streaking forward on that last attack for the Swope Park Rangers. second substitution of the game. And a hero's round of applause for Haji Berry, as he will be withdrawn here after entering a couple different record books here with his goal. That is currently the difference in the game as well.
I think it's another solid outing for Haji Berry as Ethan Venacourt Decker comes on. Berry, in his bit of class, is what separates the sides right now. That initial ball through the San Antonio defense to spring Blackwood free along that left touch line, and then Blackwood returning the favor, peeking out Berry near the penalty spot. With a simple finish.
Akhmatov now charging forward, trying to find the new addition into the game. Ethan Venacourt Decker coming off his first goal for the Swope Park Rangers in that loss to St. Louis over the weekend. He's dribbled himself into a cul-de-sac, but plays it off of San Antonio defenders. A nice challenge there from Darnell King. It'll be a throw for the Swope Park Rangers. Venacourt Decker, 7th generation professional soccer player. I had my doubts if that was an actual stat, but Sam, you and Kurt Austin showed me the proof.
Well, it's admittedly hard to believe.
Oh, here's a wonderful ball, and out of nowhere, it's a goal for Tyler Blackwood. Akhmatov catches everyone sleeping. Blackwood sneaks in behind, and he doubles the Rangers' advantage.
Blackwood just may have scored his biggest goal of the season, as Akhmatov does very well to win the ball there off the throw-in. And it's a terrific header from Blackwood, who leaves Cardoni no chance. Rangers in excellent shape. 2 goals to the good.
Cardoni with his hands up towards the sideline, wondering how he could have been onside, but Blackwood gets his 6th goal of the season. The Rangers double their lead. That was all from the boot. Rosenbeck Akhmatov, the quick turnover. He gets his eyes up, picks out a peach of a ball into the area.
Akhmatov will be credited with his first assist of the season, but it's not the first time he's been involved in the buildup of a goal since joining the team this summer. An excellent delivery there.
This one's still alive for Guzman in the area. Cutting it back for Lang, who mishits his attempt. Might have a second go here, Lang. Closed down, trying to create space, Lang. And in the end, Venacourt Decker just pokes it away from him, and the clearance is completed, out of play.
Chance here for SPR to catch their breath a little bit as San Antonio immediately knocks on the door, try to get back into this game. Lang, the man in form, can't find the back of the net, and now Omar Gordon will make way.
Go, come on!
Well, he's been a bright spot, Omar Gordon, for San Antonio in this game. He's replaced by Jose Escalante, making his 18th appearance of the campaign. Escalante does have a goal to his name so far this season. But Powell and company looking for 2 here in the second half.
They'll need at least 2, won't they? And Carter, you and I were marveling at the fact that Ethan Venacourt Decker is a 7th generation professional soccer player. That is indeed true. Soccer family dating back to the late 1800s, but just as we were discussing that, Akhmatov serves up a dime for Tyler Blackwood to head home, and that's brought us to the current scoreline of 2-0.
Paul Nagamura like that challenge from Jidish. There was a hefty challenge from the newcomer, Jose Escalante. Carlton Belmar taking extreme exception to that one.
If you're the Swope Park Rangers and Paul Nagamura, you want to close this out in a professional fashion. You're in firm control of this game. You've got your hand around the neck of San Antonio, proverbially speaking, and to do anything foolish now in the way of a red card or any disciplinary actions would be very foolish. You've got the result you want, the result that you need, the result that will significantly increase the chances of your team returning to the playoffs for the 3rd year in a row.
Graham Smith sends this one forward from the restart. Akhmatov half-heartedly challenging for that one. So San Antonio will try and move out from the back. There's a loose pass intercepted by Hernandez. Felipe Hernandez into the game has brought a bit of a bright spark for the Swope Park Rangers in midfield. There's a bit of over-dribbling from Manicor Decker. Upset with himself as he allows that to drift out of play. Get an inside look at life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition of From the Pitch on USLsoccer.com. First time cross, Mikey Lopez with his head to the sky. Didn't like his own delivery there from the right-hand side.
What I saw now, Paolo Nogamura on the SPR sideline just waving for his team to calm down, and I think this would be wise words. That's a great challenge there from Jidic on the edge of the box. It had to be perfect, and it was.
Guzman looked to be in some good position there if he could turn Amir Jidic. Big center half for the Swope Park Rangers, or USL. Best 11. You can see why. These full talents have been on display in this game. Several breaking crossfield diagonals from Amir Jidic. There's a nice move from Guzman to leave Hernandez in the dust. First time shot from Escalante. He wants a deflection. Nothing given by the referee. Might have just caught the heel there. Rasenbek Akhmatov. Chechnyan born. Raised in Strasbourg, France. Here's a look at why he's down on the ground as Escalante takes a big swing. Couldn't quite tell what happened on that one. I just caught him in his backswing there. Akhmatov appears to be okay.
Second ball, come on, second ball, second.
Eric Dick taking his time now from this free kick. Goal kick, I should say.
I think if you're the Rangers, you've got to be very, very pleased with the way this second half has unfolded. Not to state the obvious, obviously they've scored 2 goals. I think actually I personally have been more impressed with the way the back line has locked down this San Antonio attack. Been very few opportunities for the visitors here over the last 35 minutes or so.
Don't believe they have a shot attempt here in the second half.
Smith and Jidic have had that back line on absolute lockdown. We've seen good moments from Jalen Lindsay to be sure as well. Bill Yu has remained dangerous forward on the overlap down the left. For my money, the best defensive game for the Rangers in quite some time.
Still 8 minutes plus stoppage time to see this one out. It's been a wonderful second half performance from the Swope Park Rangers. Lindsay again drawing a foul in the middle of the pitch. Nagamura just asking the fourth official how many fouls Pekka will be able to pick up in this one.
How good was that from Jalen Lindsay? A bit of footwork there to draw that foul, and Pekka already on a yellow card. It's something that you'd be concerned about if you're San Antonio right now. It's the last thing you want, especially going into Saturday's game at St. Louis FC, which if tonight's result holds, becomes an absolute must-win. You want to be going in with a full squad. You want to have number 8 on your team there. You see Pekka having to sit out for caution, accumulation, for a red card suspension.
Blackwood into the corner, somehow slips it back for Lindsay. It deflects off. Jalen Lindsay out for San Antonio throw. Really the nerviest moments of the second half for Swope Park Rangers in defense have been of their own doing. A couple little nervy dribbling moments in the early stages of this one. Vanacore Decker able to keep it in play, but just into the path of Rodriguez. But he gives it back now to the Swope Park Rangers. Hussein. Lopez again has to wear a hard foul, but Blackwood takes it off the toe of his defender. Blackwood now one-on-one with the keeper, and he fires it over. It's a wonderful opportunity to double his tally in the game.
It certainly was a golden chance for Tyler Blackwood to put this game to bed. He does well to dispossess his defender, but he lashes this one well over the bar. He's always going over.
Saw the recovery run there of Moises Hernandez, just forcing him to rush that shot a little bit.
See Mikey Lopez receiving a bit of treatment. Lopez was always a player with a high work rate. At Sporting Kansas City, he has continued to conduct his business in such a fashion as he has found himself a nice spot here in San Antonio. He's started 23 of 28 USL appearances this season for the side.
Played in all but 2 matches for San Antonio. It's laid off now for Cochran on the left-hand side. His cross deflected. It'll wind up on the top of Eric Dick's net. Yellow nets here at Children's Mercy Park for Childhood Cancer Awareness Month in MLS.
Come on, Ty.
But it's a late corner here as we move into the final 5 minutes of regulation. San Antonio, can they get a lifeline? Lang to take this corner. In towards the penalty spot, through a host of bodies. It'll come all the way for Mikey Lopez on the near-hand side. His cross blocked by Belmar. Chance for a counterattack here for the Rangers. Pass from Vanacore Decker, just a bit too close to Greg Cochran, who makes a good recovery for San Antonio.
Well, that was excellent from Cochran, and that there is excellent from Mir Jidic. 2 superb interventions, one for either team in quick succession. A good look there of Mir Jidic, making his 22nd start for the Rangers this season. One of 2 players on the Rangers roster, along with goalkeeper Adrian Zendejas, to appear in all 3 of the Rangers seasons for the club, 2016, 2017, and now 2018.
He was losing the ball in the lights, now recovering. It's been all over the place in the second half for Mir Jidic. Just taking an awkward bounce of the ball off the face there before he had to cover on the right-hand side.
There's no questioning whether he has the physical tools to become an elite center back, Mir Jidic. 6'3", 6'4", 90 or so. Certainly capable of handling the most physical of strikers.
Still just 23 as well. Mir Jidic, the local Baker University product. Hernandez touching it away. Now trying to get the return, and Blackwood just upset with himself. Didn't see the backtracking run there. Greg Cochran. Rangers just slowing things down on the far side. Right when I say that, it's a series of quick one-touch passes. Belmar just outside the area. Carlton Belmar shifting it back onto his left. Still Carlton Belmar. Showing a few tricks in his bag, and he'll pick out the pitching wedge to loft that one over to Justin Bilyeu. Jidic, one touch to shift it, second touch to put it right on the toe of Jalen Lindsay, who streaks forward, and he'll get the return from Vanacore Decker. Lindsay popping it back for Decker. Just couldn't get ahead to it.
So close to his first assist in a Rangers uniform was Lindsay Vanacore Decker. Wanting to be just a bit braver in going for that header, but nevertheless a decent look there.
It's a big body of 6'3", Matt Cardoni charging at.
Certainly so.
Anacore Decker might have put him off there. Right though, wonderful play. Jalen Lindsay down that right-hand side. Time running out for San Antonio. 90 seconds of regulation here. Cochran now streaming into the attacking third, putting his hands up, asking where his teammates are in and around the area. Guzman faking the shot. Now he'll hit one. Hopeful. Clatters into the seats behind Eric Dick's goal. That will allow for third and final substitution for the Swope Park Rangers. Perhaps consolidating their power here as Brian Rebellon will come on for his 14th sub appearance of the season, 24th appearance overall, and he replaces Carlton Belmar.
Not a bad outing tonight for Carlton Belmar. He doesn't get on the score sheet, but he was involved in a handful of attacks. Certainly put the San Antonio backline to the test on multiple occasions. Can't question number 90's effort, and now on comes Brian Rebellon, who, as you said, will help shore things up for SPR, who are in a very healthy position right now thanks to their second half performance, Carter. I think that's kind of what has separated the sides, because through the first 45 minutes, obviously we were scoreless, but I don't think there was anything between the two teams. I think it was an extremely even first half, and in the second, Najee Berry showing his quality. Man in form, scoring for the 7th straight game, a USL club record. And then San Antonio caught snoozing on a quick restart as Rasenbeck Akhmetov served up a delicious pass for Tyler Blackwood to head home, and that's where we stand at the moment.
3 minutes shown of stoppage time here in the second half. 3 minutes for San Antonio to try and get back into this one. Jidic hooks that one clear. Anywhere will do for the Rangers now as they try and see out this 2-0 lead for a huge 3 points. Just 3 games to play for the Rangers after this one. Smith this time heads this one back towards where it came from. Hussein touching it around Mikey Lopez wonderfully. Little tug of the jersey.
Delightful from Juan Hussein. I think it's gotten the better of Pekka and Mikey Lopez throughout the game. The Rangers have won that midfield battle despite the fact that their starters were 16, 20, and 22 years old respectively.
How well do you know the USL? Test your knowledge in USLsoccer.com's weekly picks competition every week against experts from across the league. To the final 90 seconds of stoppage time. Hedrick back now with Cardoni. And Hernandez.
Assuming the result holds.
Wonderful helper into the path of Lang, who uses his strength to get forward into the area and fires it just wide of the post. Oh, how close was Lance Lang there to having the deficit and perhaps giving San Antonio FC a lifeline.
Lance Lang coming extremely close to his 4th goal in a San Antonio uniform. That is San Antonio's best moment of the second half, and unfortunately for them, it will come far too late, as SPR appears to have successfully rebounded from what was a dispiriting 4-3 loss to rivals St. Louis FC on Saturday. Their playoff hopes have received a massive boost this evening.
Big time performance from this young SPR group. All the pressure on the home team coming into this one. Lang popping it wide left with Cochran. First time cross. Well, you knew it was going to be one of those big center halves, heading it clear. And that's the final act of the game. A huge 3 points for the Swope Park Rangers and a record-setting performance from Haji Berry. scoring in his 7th consecutive game. That's a USL record. And scoring his 15th goal of the campaign as well, which tops the single season charts for the Swope Park Rangers. Big man comes up big in the big moments. Tyler Blackwood got a goal late on to double the Rangers' lead, and that is all she wrote here in Kansas City, Kansas. 2-0 the final score. Swope Park Rangers getting a big-time win in their playoff push over San Antonio FC. Stick with us. We'll come back for second half stats and highlights. Children's Mercy Park. Full time in Kansas City, Kansas. Swope Park Rangers with a 2-0 victory over San Antonio FC. Get a massive 3 points to move ahead in their quest for a third consecutive run into the Western Conference playoffs. Let's take a look at the stats that tell the tale from really a wonderful second half for the Swope Park Rangers.
And I thought the Rangers did extremely well in limiting San Antonio's opportunities. In the second half, the visitors had a few big chances in the first. Was not the case over the final 45 minutes, and then obviously the Rangers doing well to take advantage of 2 scoring opportunities of their own through Blackwood and Haji Berry.
Haji Berry, man of the moments, record setter, record-setting performance, 7th straight goal, and that wound up being the game winner here in Kansas City, Kansas. Well, it's a huge 3 points for the Swope Park Rangers as they move on to 49 points, which is 3 games remaining. They'll go on the road, but thank you for watching this broadcast. For our wonderful all-star crew, Jordan Burrell, Brad Zimmerman, Dan McCaffrey, Jason Briley, John Gerhardt, Keaton McGuire, Paul Stokes, Nate Younger, Aaron Clark, Jared Sailing, and Maggie Blair, graphics wonder wizard. For Sam Cobbs and I'm Carter Augustine, thanks for watching. 2-0. The final score, Swope Park Rangers win.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.